So today we need to talk about the GOAT. We need to talk about s1mple. The biggest story in the Counter-Strike world today is where s1mple is headed next and all of the reasons why and all the fallout surrounding that situation. So that's what we're going to be talking about. About a week ago, we did hear at the Katowice tournament that s1mple was going to be returning to Counter-Strike 2 after the Copenhagen Major. He told them, hey, I'm watching this Counter-Strike. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. I've been training. I'm ready to go once this Major's over. He announced that he was going to be the sixth man for Na'Vi during the tournament, and that hopefully nothing would happen to any of their players. Hopefully he wouldn't have to step in, but then he was going to be ready to go after that. And we didn't know exactly what that meant or exactly what that looked like or how he's going to get ready or whatever, but I do believe that the Shanghai Major isn't until December, so it did mean that, hey, Na'Vi and s1mple or wherever he ended up next, they were going to have plenty of time to start ramping up and start getting prepared, and s1mple was going to have an opportunity to make his mark on Counter-Strike 2 the game. But now we know a little bit more about what's going on. We know the full story, but we know at least where s1mple is headed next, and that's what we're going to be talking about. First, I just wanted to plug my cash trading business really quick. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 items for cold hard cash, crypto, any kind of different payment method that you're looking for, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. Going to be the first link in the description below. And safely, effectively, efficiently, we can turn your items into cash. Anything, gloves, knives, cases, capsules, stickers, whatever you are looking to cash out on, we can help you get a deal done. Buying most stuff for between 85 and 90% buff, and it's just instant. You don't have to worry about it, hassle-free, whatever, and it helps support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, this is obviously the big news today that Team Falcons GG has tweeted out. Here we go. Please welcome s1mple, who will be making his return to professional Counter-Strike as a part of Falcons for 1 month on loan from Team Nodis Vincere. So, this is obviously crazy. Seeing s1mple, not only getting to see him, but seeing him in the Falcons jersey. I don't know. This was pretty shocking. I mean, people aren't like totally surprised to see him going to Falcons, obviously, because Falcons, we know, is this team that has a ton of money to throw around. They're this very controversial team, whatever, but he is going to be headed over there. Obviously, some of the surprising stuff is on that 1 month loan. What does this mean? Why is he going there? Why did Falcons bring him in? What the heck is going on? And then, obviously, what does this mean for s1mple going forward? Is he going to continue to play with Na'Vi after the Copenhagen Major? Is Falcons going to try and bring him in for longer? We don't know the full story yet, but we do know that at least for the next month, or whenever this loan kicks in, that s1mple will be playing with Falcons, which is a big deal. Obviously, getting s1mple to return to Counter-Strike 2. And yeah, there's obviously a ton of reactions and just things going on around the scene. Now, what is interesting here is that the CS2 player JL, obviously a player for Na'Vi right now, said in a call with OnlyPixel he had no idea about s1mple's move to Team Falcons. Here is that clip that we can take a look at real quick, which gives some of JL's thoughts and opinions on the situation.
Thoughts?
I had no idea about it, actually. It was such a surprise.
Really?
I feel like it's good, yeah. What do you think? Me and s1mple are best friends?
Yes.
So we're not like that. But I think it's good. I mean, he stays active. Maybe not the biggest tournaments going on, but Falcons missed the major, so what can he do?
Yeah.
Players here, though.
So, yeah, obviously JL thinks it is a good move, an interesting pickup for Falcons for sure, and a good move for, obviously, his teammate s1mple to be able to stay fresh and still be able to play competitive Counter-Strike. So, what is exactly Falcons' plan here? Why did they go out and get him? Who knows how much money they spent or whatever. I'm sure this wasn't a cheap move or a cheap transaction, but again, Falcons isn't exactly cash-strapped or anything like that. But we can actually hear from the Global Director of Esports and EU Operations for Team Falcons. He says, this is Grant Rousseau. He says, of course, no doubt many are excited about s1mple joining us, and I'm glad we can make this happen. Just want to be clear, as the statement says, this is for 1 month loan to cover us for Blast Showdown. This gives us the flexibility to make the permanent roster decision needed going into ESL Pro League, IEM Dallas, etc., while still giving us a great shot to make it out of Blast Showdown. Pimp says, solid move. He says, thank you. I mean, obviously, getting s1mple on your team is going to be a solid move. That's going to be, a big pickup at any point. So, there's obviously, with a new player joining, some player needs to go out. There needs to be some fallout from the situation or whatever. s1mple is joining Falcons on loan. Boros is being benched. This is kind of the other big story from this. So Falcon has benched Boros in a shocking move, added s1mple on that 1 month loan. The Ukrainian superstar makes his return to Counter-Strike after taking a break from competition in October. The Saudi organization making the call to change their roster mere days after the disastrous exit from the Copenhagen Europe RMR A. When announcing his break, s1mple said it would be interesting to see offers upon his return. This is now reality in Falcons, and he said he also considered switching roles to be a rifler as he felt the op was not as good in CS2. This is now reality in Falcons, as he will replace Boros, while S1MPLE will continue wielding the big green as the Saudi organization looks to rebalance formation of a roster and move players into the necessary correct roles and positions. So that is another big thing from this situation. Definitely S1MPLE is getting kind of a risk-free way to go practice being and like get into form being a rifler, as opposed to opping. Again, they have S1MPLE on this team already. He's going to be replacing Boros. So yes, we've heard S1MPLE talk about how Valve ruined the op in Counter-Strike 2 and it was trash and it was, you know, no impact and blah blah blah, and he can be one of the best rifles in the world or whatever. So now he's going to get a free chance to actually try that out on Falcons before returning to Navi. And then, you know, if that all goes well and if he feels good about it, obviously, potentially having a very big impact for them. So again, Navi gets a chance to let S1MPLE try that out risk-free. And Falcons, obviously, since they have been struggling, again, we can take a look at their HLTV. Coming into 2024, ranked as the number 10 team in the world, they peaked as high as number 7. Currently, HLTV has them number 8. But again, their recent matches have not gone quite as they would have hoped. Now, it's weird because at Katowice, they were very good. They beat Rebels, Complexity, Navi 2-0 against Navi, which is one of the best teams in the world right now, 2-1 against ENCE, before losing to 2-0 to Spirit. But obviously, this was Spirit and Donk, which is maybe the best team in the world right now, or one of the best teams in the world right now, or whatever. You know, a top 3 team. No shame losing to Spirit. And again, a top 3 or 4 finish at Katowice shouldn't really be that bad. Should be plenty of good enough form to make it to the Copenhagen Major. But obviously, during European RMRA, they beat 3D Max, which ended up being one of the worst teams in RMRA. I believe they finished dead last or close to dead last or whatever. I think I have it pulled up right here. Yes, they beat 3D Max, who went 1-3, and they were the third to worst team in the whole thing. That was obviously their win, and then they ended up losing 13-7 to FaZe, 13-5 to Eternal Fire, and then 2-1 to Amcall to eventually be eliminated from this thing. So obviously, they felt like they needed to make some changes because, yeah, they came in as a top 10 team in the world, and then to not even qualify for the Copenhagen Major is obviously an absolute disaster. So we can see how that makes sense from their side. Again, they do have, like their director said, they do have the Blast Premier Spring Showdown coming up March 6th through 10th. I don't know exactly when this is. I'm sure it's just going to, this loan is just going to be for this tournament, again, to help them qualify for Blast and continue moving on and all this stuff, while they can also, whatever he says, make the permanent roster decision needed going into their other tournaments. So I guess we'll have to see who that fifth man for Falcons is eventually going to be, and if they're going to continue to pursue S1MPLE further going on in the future. I don't know. People are also saying this is kind of funny that Thorin apparently predicted this or whatever.
In the end, S1MPLE does come back, not as an AWPer. He rifles instead of Boros in Falcons, and they win the next major. So
somehow Thorin knew what was going on. I don't know what's going on there. I know some people were kind of mad at S1MPLE as well because S1MPLE said or had some quote, or this was, I don't even know if this, I don't remember if this is real or rumored or whatever, but I'm pretty sure this was real, that S1MPLE talked about not wanting to go to Cloud9, obviously because they have Russians on their team and like a Russian organization and all that. So people are saying, hey, you won't go to Cloud9 because there's Russians in the team who are not even publicly supporting the war. Perfecto and Electronic are not even representing Russia, and nobody's fault for having a bad spawn point, but you'll go to the Saudi Arabian team for blood money org. So there is still a lot of controversy, obviously, surrounding Falcons. There's always going to be, and all that stuff, which is kind of interesting. And then, of course, like I said, Boros, the player being benched, the statement that he put out is really sad news that I will be on the bench in Team Falcons GG. Time to refocus on my goals and come back stronger. I will grind so hard for the next major. I'll make sure that I'll be there despite all the hate from the community. It's time to stay away from social media. For a bit, I want to thank everyone in Team Falcons, and I'm really grateful that I had the chance to work with Zonic and Lars Robel. They helped me to improve in the end, and I would thank everyone on the team. It was a good experience for me, and good luck for the future. So, again, at the end of the day, we know that S1MPLE is going to be making his return to Counter-Strike, to competitive Counter-Strike, to Counter-Strike esports, and this will be with Team Falcons, at least for the next month, and we'll have to see what happens from there. It does look like he will be a rifler for the team at the Blast Premier Showdown coming up March 6th through 10th, so keep your eyes out for that. Any fans of S1MPLE or just high-level competitive Counter-Strike, or fans of the GOAT. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.